What's good, YouTube? It's Jay here. It's been a minute since I actually worked on any kind of vlog or any IRL piece of content. I've just been really busy. I had to go to the hospital a few days ago, or a week ago rather. I actually had a really bad toothache. Like, it was so bad. It started on last Saturday, the day before, I think it was the Super Bowl. Yeah, the day before the Super Bowl. I got a really bad toothache. I'm gonna show you guys what the teeth look like because I still have them. But I got a really bad toothache. That lasted for, I saw, like 3 days. On the third day, I finally went to a dentist and got it pulled at like 7 at night. Ended up having to actually get 2 teeth pulled, my second molar and my wisdom tooth. My second molar apparently had a cavity in it and it was huge. And the doctor made me smell it. It smelled horrible. I had to get that pulled. Unfortunately, first time ever getting teeth pulled. All of my wisdom teeth except for that one are still in. So unfortunately, I still got to get those pulled as well at some point or another. But in the current moment, that one was hurting really badly. I've never had tooth pain up until that point. Yeah, and the doctor, the dentist was not very, he was not very pleased with the way my teeth were apparently looking. So unfortunately, I got to go to the dentist again, and I got a checkup tomorrow. I got to go to the dentist, get these teeth looked at again, get the stitches out from my mouth from when I got the other 2 teeth pulled. And then, yeah. Honestly, I always thought I had nice teeth. But what I wanted to talk about in addition to this was plans of going forward with the future. So actually, I recently just got a job. I'm going to be doing some IT work. I won't really say the name of the company or anything, but it's going to be at home, which means probably no more Uber eating consistently, probably only like a every once in a while kind of deal. But that does mean I'll be home more often, and I will be around to work on content after I finish my 9:30 to 6 work shift. I'll have more time to actually work on YouTube content and stuff again, which is going to be pretty nice. I can finally start getting some things done. I've just been so busy running around. I've mentally just been checked out, man. I've just been doing things and existing and not really even thinking about it. But it'll be nice to finally be able to just do things with no stress, not having to leave out the house and drive around for hours on end. And I'm still going to do it for extra fun money, so I have money to spend on things that I want to spend money on, like upgrades for the streaming setup and stuff like that. But yeah, it's been a busy few weeks, and I'm finally getting everything taken care of and settled, and we can finally take a breather. We can finally take a breather. So yeah, I got that taken care of. I've been taking more vitamins and stuff recently and sleeping a little bit better. Just trying to get my overall health up. I feel like I've just not been taking care of myself properly over the last few months. Bad sleep schedules, extreme stress, bad anxiety. I've just been trying to get things right. Working out more, eating a lot of vitamins, or consuming a lot of vitamins. Just approaching life in a more healthy manner than what I was doing over the last few months, because I was not taking care of myself properly. But now that things are settling down and I got a job finally, we can take a breather and just work on fun things again, which I can't wait. Speaking of fun things, I have literally no idea how to play a guitar, but I got a guitar. There was a couple that was moving out and they were taking a bunch of stuff to a Goodwill, and this guitar, which was in that pouch, I checked it for bugs and stuff, it was clear, I checked it outside. They had this guitar they didn't want anymore, and so I asked them if I could have it, and yeah, so maybe I'll do a vlog where I try to learn how to play the guitar. But I thought that was pretty cool to have added to my overall collection of just stuff that I've got over here. Some of my Yu-Gi-Oh mats also fell off of the shelf up here, unfortunately, because I just don't really have any good room for it. I don't want to mess this one up, because this is one of the ones that my buddy Patrick gave me as a going away gift from when I moved out of BG. Dark Magician Girl, the Dragon Knight. I'm a nerd dude, but come on, man. It's Dark Magician Girl. Like, if you know Yu-Gi-Oh, you love Dark Magician Girl. Like, best girl. Stuff. One thing I did want to show you guys is a lot of like some of my Yu-Gi-Oh collection and stuff. I've been playing a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh Master Duel on my YouTube channel, by the way. Sub to me, we're almost at 2,000 subscribers. I wanted to show you guys a bunch of stuff that I have collected over the years. Not everything, but just some things. These binders and this one right here are all just a bunch of like random foil, rare, or, foil cards, like shining cards, I guess, so to speak. Most of these are all junk, pretty much. Anything important is actually in these books and these deck boxes. Actually, most of these deck boxes are now empty. I transferred a lot of the cards into some of these books. But a majority of these deck boxes are pretty much empty. I'll show you guys some of the stuff that's in them too, and then we'll look at stuff in the books. This is a deck that I've been building and working on and reconstructing from what I originally had it. It's a Phantom Knight deck. It's one of the more meta decks. I don't have some of the meta cards because they're actually super expensive. There's a card I want to get for this deck, but I can't afford it, called Destroy Phoenix Enforcer. I got a $100 card, but I've got all the other stuff that goes with it. I just don't have that $100 card. There's plenty of different builds for this. This isn't the most competitive build, but I mean, it's what I can afford and what I own. So I just gotta do some tweaks on it and add a few more things to my extra deck over here, you know. If you play Yu-Gi-Oh, you might recognize some of these cards if you play modern Yu-Gi-Oh anyway. But there's still a few things I gotta add to this deck to really get it competitively viable. I'm gonna show you what's in these. Let me clear this spot up really quick. All right, so I put the Phantom Knights away. They're actually in this deck box right here, which is of a Yu-Gi-Oh card called IP Masquerena. I just bought this a few days ago. Dude, you probably guess why I bought this. But what's funny is with that, I actually bought a binder to kind of go with it. I really like the design of IP Masquerena. Yeah, it's very weebish and it's very cheesy, but whatever you want to call it. I got that. And then in this box right here, I keep a bunch of, it's this one. I keep a bunch of spare card sleeves in here. So I also got I ordered these off of Amazon. It's not focusing, but you can tell with the images. I got a bunch of IP Masquerena sleeves to go with the deck box, the binder. The only reason I don't have them on the cards that are in here is because there's a lot of meta cards in this deck, and I have my meta cards set to a very specific type of sleeve, and I only have 50 of these, so I didn't want to just keep switching and interchanging sleeves and stuff. Now, I'm sorry that my mat is dirty. I need to clean it. I just like fixed my mouse a little bit. Like the little rubber bits that go on the mouse right here, I just put new ones on here because the other ones were worn and they were scratching the mat. That's what the aftermath of this is. No matter how many times I cleaned it, this mouse kept scratching it, and I realized what the problem was. But okay, that's a lot of talking. Let me actually show you what's in these other deck boxes. So we've got an old school GOAT deck, which I don't know if any of you, unless you play Yu-Gi-Oh competitively back then, you might not know that terminology. But this is what you would call somewhat of a GOAT control deck. It was just a very competitive deck full of a bunch of OG broken cards that did a lot back in their heyday. You know, this deck obviously is competitively viable now, but it's just a bunch of old stuff. It's from a very competitive format that was really fun to go back and forth with your opponent in. We got classic cards like Graceful Charity, Heavy Storm, Premature Burial, Snatch Steal, Delinquent Duo, Pot of Greed. What does it do? It makes you draw 2 cards. That's what it does. Yeah, so we got a bunch of classic stuff in this. And what's funny is, so with that Dark Magician girl, the Dragon Knight mat that my buddy got me, he also got me these sleeves to go with it because he knows she's my favorite waifu. What's a better deck to put these sleeves on than an old school deck? An old school deck with Dark Magician Girl sleeves on it. Couldn't name a better duo. So that's what's in the brown box. I never thought I'd be doing a video like this up until I started really playing Master Duel more. This deck is what you would call Dragon Link. It's just Dragon.deck basically. It's got a bunch of dragon cards that all universally work well together. It needs a bit of an update. It's a little dated. Some of the cards there's some new cards I need to add in here, some I need to take out. But it's literally just called Dragon. It's literally just called Dragon Link. It's a really good deck. Well, it used to be the top tier deck, but a lot of stuff got banned in it because it was extremely broken. It was just stupid. It's literally an engine deck. It takes forever to build the combos from it. But once you do, you can end on boards that just basically made it so your opponent couldn't play Yu-Gi-Oh. So, I mean, if you haven't kept up with modern Yu-Gi-Oh, the entire game's about not being able to play Yu-Gi-Oh. In this deck box right here, so I'm going to clear these out of the way, I just keep a bunch of meta cards in it. Pretty much things I could just swap out between all of my competitive decks, the things I'm going to be playing, you know. This card is actually really, really nice. It's called Crossout Designator. It's the best card from its set. I bought 5 packs that this card normally comes in from my local card vendor. They're called a Mega Pack 2021. I bought 5 packs of that, and in those 5 packs, I pulled all 3 of these. This is literally the best card from that set. I pulled 3 of these in a day and a half. It's absurd. But yeah, I just keep a bunch of spare potentially meta cards in here that are all, you know, useful in some capacity. Just, you know, so I can swap them out with my primary decks. Just a bunch of meta stuff in there. I originally had them all in a book, but I found it easier just to put them in a deck box. I have like 10 spare empty deck boxes, so. And we're briefly gonna go over what I got down here. I mean, this book is just a bunch of spell and trap cards that I've just saved up over the years, like that are all decent, hold some sort of value or history, you know, just a bunch of spare stuff. These are mostly collection binders for the most part, but yeah, they just hold a bunch of spare stuff, spare spell and trap cards, like I said previously, meta things with some kind of history to them. This one holds a actual bunch of my other meta cards that I just didn't have room in the deck box for. but I keep them separate. So we got like all the hand traps. If you know modern Yu-Gi-Oh, you know what I'm talking about. We got all the hand traps that I've got, you know, spares of. All the Kaijus and tribute fodder and all that. Winged Dragon of Ra Sphere Mode, that's a really great card. Just a bunch of usable meta things that could still potentially see play in modern Yu-Gi-Oh. A lot of cool stuff in here, so yeah, a lot of neat stuff in here. This just has banned things in it. It's nothing special. This deck box, I think this deck box has my Pendulum Magicians in it. If you don't know what pendulum cards are, I don't even want to try to explain it to you. Basically, they're monsters with spell, and they're basically like a monster that's both a spell and a monster card. So, but our boy Astrograph Sorcerer just got off the ban list. Pendulum, best deck, still my favorite deck probably to date. So similar to that IP Masquerena box, we also have a Karibo Magician box that I just bought. I just bought it because it looked cool, just to fit the aesthetic. I don't even know what I've got in here. I've got Salaman Greats in here. This is my other main meta deck. This has a bunch of spare staple cards, you could call it, like just cards that would like staple cards that would go in certain decks. I just keep a bunch of spare cards in here for some of my main deck builds, things I could just swap out or put into those decks to change them up a bit. Didn't really have a real purpose for this deck. We do have some cool tokens and stuff in here though. In all these neat field centers, we got Yugi with the Dark Magician, Kaiba with the blue eyes. Yeah, I thought that just was a good idea, just put all that extra stuff in there. No real purpose. And then pretty much everything else is just decks. Literally just spare decks, pretty much. This is more of a collection slash junk deck, I want to say, binder. It has a bunch of decks that will probably never be competitively viable, but I want to keep them organized. And it's also got these cards which are called number monsters. There's numbers 1 through 100. So I'm in the process of trying to, you know, collect all that stuff pretty much. It's still going to take some time and a little bit of money, but we're like 80% of the way there. Most of these pages are filled. So, you know, the number monsters, we're almost done collecting all of them, and I think they all exist now. We got some Light Sworn stuff. There's some cards missing from this because a good chunk of these cards are actually in my Pendulum deck now. But a lot of stuff from a very powerful, the most broken Yu-Gi-Oh deck of all time called Pepe. We've got the core of that deck right here. Just have it for fun if I ever want to play it against some friends or whatever. Spyros, Infernoids. We got 6 Samurais. We got a bunch of different, you know, cool little strategies in here. And I just realized I messed up with this. These cards on this page should be in between here. So that means I actually have more room for more stuff. Yeah, I actually have a lot of room left now. Okay, we'll have to fix that. Got what you call Cleforts. This right here is my Unga Bunga Infernity deck. It's just an engine deck that just does a bunch of spam and basically a bunch of combos nobody will ever sit through. So there's that. And then if we look at the IP Masquerena, this has a bunch of decks that are potentially playable. It's mostly deck cores, like the core parts of decks that are playable. We got Sky Strikers, which is just waifu.deck. I want to actually get some stuff of that deck, like some deck boxes and stuff. Sub-Terror cards. You got Prank Kids, which actually is a very meta deck right now. I just don't know how to play it at all. Shout out to my homie Aaron for giving me this entire deck core, by the way, when he gave me this one of these binders. Zodiacs. Some Burning Abyss stuff, not a whole bunch. And then parts from my Orcus deck, just scrapped like certain parts from it. I'm not going to go through every single binder, but you'll get the idea, kind of. This has my extra deck monsters in it. This has more decks in it, actually, that are playable. Like this one just had fun, random garbage. Most of the decks in here are pretty much all playable in some capacity. You know, put some certain meta cards in them, buy a couple of things that are missing, and they're all playable for the most part. And then we've got this juggernaut of a binder over here. This is the biggest binder I've ever owned in the history of this game. It's got 4 slots per page. I'm not even kidding, 4 slots per page. And it's just fat, man. It's just a collection binder, pretty much. It's got a bunch of spare stuff in it. Some stuff from the recent mega packs that I got. And I'm sorry my hand is so ashy. Look at that, man. Looks like I just got through punching a brick wall. Got a bunch of meta, not like these are meta cards, ironically, but it's mostly just a collection binder, just fun things, pretty much. I'm trying to see where is it. My favorite card in this entire book, in my entire collection, I think, is in this binder. I think, or I moved it to this one over here. I might have moved it to that one. If I did, I'm going to show you guys what that card is. But yeah, it's just a collection binder, pretty much. Lots of cool things I've collected over the last few months. Some more meta stuff that I honestly need to take out of this binder and probably put in the meta book that I've got. Oh, it's in this book. Here it is. So this is what you call a collector's rare. One of the higher rarities in the entirety of the game. It's kind of hard to see, but I pulled this Blackluster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning. First edition collector's rare. Blackluster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning. I bought 6 packs of this card set, which was called Toon Chaos. Bought 6 packs from Walmart. And pulled this from it one day, like a year ago. My favorite card in this entire collection to this day. I got lots of cool stuff in here. Some of it's valuable, some of it isn't. But for the most part, like I said, it's just a collection binder. They've got a Hitmonlee. I don't play Pokemon, but this came with a binder with my friend, like I said, my friend Aaron, he gave me this binder. It was empty. It only had the Prank Kids cards in it, but it was pretty much all empty. He gave me that Pokemon card in that collection too, or with this book. So, yeah, just a collection binder overall, just a bunch of cool stuff in there. This is a deck I still want to finish building, but some of the cards for it are excruciatingly expensive. I'm like talking like, there's one card called Elemental Hero or Evil Hero Captain and Dusted Gold, I think it is. The card's $100. There's Evil Hero Malicious Bane, I think. That card's $100. These are also one of my other favorite decks though. Heroes, Elemental Heroes, Destiny Heroes, Evil Heroes, you know, heroes. They've also got that Dark Magician Girl sleeve. These are actually from the sleeves that I bought myself. Yeah, I want to make this deck competitively viable one day. There's some things that I'm missing from it that I want to get, but again, like I said, those cards are literally hundreds of dollars. So if you want, you can support me on Patreon in the description down below. All this stuff over here, we've got my diploma. We've got various books from Star Wars to Skyrim. I've got a Skyrim lore book here. The Essential Guide to Warfare, my favorite book of all time. This is my favorite book of all time. I've read this book countless times and I learn more new things from it all the time. Long live the expanded universe. We've got a bunch of war books, major problems in the history of World War II, top secret tales of World War II, a bunch of war books. I love studying war. I loved taking political science classes and war classes in college, just as a side thing. Got my Astro 850 box. I always like keeping the boxes for certain things. Shout out to my fiance, by the way. This is her diploma case, but she's gonna put hers in a picture frame. So she let me keep this one. I asked her where to put mine, which is nice. We've got a bunch of Star Wars books, some of which I still need to finish reading. And then we've got this legendary, The Heart of the Jedi book that's no longer sold. That's a very legendary book. So if you have a copy of that, hold on to it, man. It's very valuable. Keep it safe. Like I said, 80% of these deck boxes are empty. I've pretty much put everything from them into these books and stuff down here. So these are all empty. And I guess the last thing from this collection is the Gunpla that I've got up here. All my Gundam stuff. Cade 6 from Destiny 2. My cousin actually gave me this. Yeah, Grogu. My mom bought me this for my birthday. And they got this sign of Juice WRLD that my friend got made for me in a woodshop class because Juice WRLD is my favorite artist of this new generation. RIP 999. But yeah, we've got a bunch of Gunpla stuff up here. Yeah, really cool. So that's pretty much everything in this collection. And then this is something that my friend Paige gave me some years ago. It's just a cool deck box, basically. It just flips open like this. Got a bunch of spare die in here, spare dice, die, whatever you want to call it. Got some 20-sided, some 6-sided, you know, regular die. But yeah, shout out to Paige for giving me that. That's pretty much some insight into one of my favorite hobbies, which is card games, model kits. I've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh since I was like 5. I've got an old book of cards still in storage in the storage unit that me and my mom had in Georgia. I gotta get that collection out of there because that stuff's got ancient things in it, like stuff from like the early 2000s up until like 2012. A lot of old school cards in that binder. One of my objectives for 2022 is to get that storage unit taken care of so my mom can get all of her family pictures and stuff out of there, and so I can get all my old Yu-Gi-Oh stuff out of there. There's really not much else I wanted out of it. I had a bunch of old like Lego stuff in it, like some Lego Star Wars kits and stuff, but I really want to get mostly the Yu-Gi-Oh cards and stuff from my mom. So but aside from that, yeah, that pretty much just sums up everything. Like, I love playing this game. I want to keep building it. One day I want to keep building my collection. One day I want to really get like a really cool display, put everything on display, like put all the valuable stuff on display on the shelf. I think that would be really cool. As far as the life update goes though, and content is concerned, we're going to be getting back on the content grind now that everything's starting to settle down a little bit. Like I said, I just had a lot going on, but it's cool to be able to take a break, still gain or keep gaining all the support that I've been gaining on the channel. We're almost at 2,000 subscribers, which is nuts to me. Yeah, we're just gonna keep things going, man. It's been a heck of a journey. I'm feeling a lot better now. Life is getting better. Life has always been pretty good to me, honestly. But, you know, things are still just going in the direction that I want them to go in. So, and again, thank you guys for all the support on the channel. Be sure to leave a like on the video. Sub to the channel for more gaming content. I'm going to definitely be posting more Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. Obviously more Star Wars things, more IRL things. I have a lot of things I like to post on the channel now. I'm actually going to make a Call of Duty Vanguard video too, because I've actually been having fun with that game recently. They added some new weapons, a few new maps and stuff, so I want to kind of check it out. But yeah, that's going to be it out of me, everybody. Thank you for watching. I'll see you later.